Moving on the sequence, we have a break in the horizontal stop by one close, emphasis added, and we move now to a bullish posture, upward trend lines to be drawn. The first thing we do, which we've already done, what we have to do is to find the horizontal stop for the upside. The way we do that is, according to the rules, mark the lowest point in the downtrend or horizontal stop that has just been broken. Well, we look at this area here, right here, between this point where the start of, rather that point there, and the finish of that trend line looks like the lowest point is all the way over here, and that now becomes our stop. So what we do, we raise or move our stop to that point, and that is now our stop. I will pause for a minute and adjust the graph. Okay, so we've got the stop there, and that also becomes our point 1 for the upward trend line. So whatever trend line that may or may not be drawn, even if it's a horizontal stop or upward sloping, it is going to be a starting point, and it's going to be point 1. So looking at the rule set, once we've got our starting point 1, the next thing is to find out whether we get permission to draw an upward trend line, or whether we have or we get stopped out. So we can't see anything, so I have to shrink the screen down a little bit, and it looks like the price action does not go up as expected. In fact, it just basically falls away over here and is broken to the downside, and then basically this stop line holds itself, switching us to a bearish posture, and now we look to find the next downward trend lines for the bearish posture, drawing downward trend lines. And the first thing we're going to be asking ourselves is, where is our stop? And it's going to be the highest point of this trend line just broken, and that looks like the highest point is over here. So our stop for the next downward trend line is going to be up there, and then we're going to see where the price either A goes down by that much from this point, or does it get stopped out again. I'm going to mark it up and do it in a second. Okay, so to recap, we started with 0.1 for upward trend line. After this reversal up here, price action went down. We got stopped out before price moved up to give permission to draw the upward trend line. And once we get stopped out on this side, we reverse, then look for the stop for the downward trend line, and we mark it over here, 0.1 for the downward trend line, being the highest point of the broken horizontal stop, referring to this here. So this is the break here. We find the highest point between these two areas. There it is. This becomes our stop for this downward trend line, and that's what we will look at next.